What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, man? Today is time for a Pure Shit podcast. I got somebody in the building that I really want to introduce y'all to. One of my personal partners. Boy, I go by the name of Cord Parks. He in the building. We about to have a real interesting conversation today.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. My boy done brought me on here. I'm excited to be here because I know we finna talk about some real dynamic things.
We're going to go real dynamic into it. I don't know if the people really ready for it, but, that's the reason we got this Pure Shit podcast, because I think some of the things that we talk about on a personal level,
Yeah.
we need to be able to put it out here to the world, and for those who really want to hear it, because a lot of times a lot of people don't really want to hear what's pure. For those of y'all that don't understand what pure is just raw and uncut. Pure don't mean the purest form. You know what I'm saying? That the rawest form of everything. I always use this analogy when I tell people what pure is. If you take steel can be broken down into many different things. You see what I'm saying? It's just like gold. 18 karat gold can be broken down to 10 karat, 14 karat.
Yeah.
But the purest karat is 24. So I want everything in my life to be at the purest form. The love, the loyalty, everything at its purest form. So, man, we're going to get right into it, man. Introduce yourself, man. Let the people know, some of your things, your background, where you're from.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So Cord Parks, man. Born and raised here in the A, man.
I think you really from Stone Mountain.
No. I really, I grew up in Edgewood, man. I went to Art right there off Moreland. From there, my mom, wanted, I guess, to send me off a little bit, so I went to Browns Mill over there in Lithonia. From there, I went to Chapel Hill Middle School, and then from there, I went to Stone Mountain High School. I had many different options where I could have went to high school at, though.
What that got to do? What that
I'm
mean?
just saying in general.
Tell the people what that mean, because I know, with me, I got that same story.
Yeah, I mean, because I was a sports baby. So this was in the time of a little bit of recruitment going on in high, like transition from middle school to high school. So I went in, I legit took visits. Like I went to Southwest, I went to Marist, I went to McNair, I went to a few different schools. Oh, I went to Stevenson. Yeah. Like a few different schools to see, how and where I would end up, playing ball, and the situation ended up being a better situation for me to go to Stone Mountain, because at the time for me, I wanted to play.
Yeah,
I ain't want to sit behind nobody. I ain't want to do
So you really took the lame ass approach for real, cause you ain't want to go where no superstars was at.
No, because Stone Mountain the year before I got there was 9-1. They lost to Tuck in the playoffs.
Yeah, but they lost in the first round, bro.
Hey, big fella.
So it's almost like, was they really legit?
I mean, to go to the playoffs, you got to be some type of legit.
No, you don't. Matt now went to the playoffs in baseball last year, right?
Hey, yeah.
And it's the region that you play in. So we ain't going to count
we were
4A.
We were 4A.
Man, come on, bro. And it go up to 6.
Nah, it didn't go up to 6 then. That was the first little beginning of 5. It wasn't.
Nah,
I ain't that young. Golly.
So
I ain't that young.
That's interesting, because that story right there, because a lot of kids and a lot of people out here today don't understand when they get into the high schools, and a lot of people judge people off of what school they went to.
Big fact.
Based on the area and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm one of them sports babies.
Right.
So we share that in common.
Absolutely.
Not knowing if you even knew that, because when I went to McNair, I graduated from McNair, but I also went to Fowler, Hendricks Drive, Hutchinson on Cleveland Avenue, like North Clay Middle School, GW Northcutt.
Yeah.
My mama was the Rolling Stone, not my papa. It was my mama. My mama was really like live that life of saying, whatever I got to do to make it better for them, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? So we started off in the project. She lived here, jumped around. I'm talking about if a gunshot went off, we were gone. You know what I'm saying? My mama was just moving, and then I ended up at McNair in 98. I ended up 97. I ended up at McNair. And it was probably one of the hardest transitions for me ever, because
coming from where?
North Clay.
Okay, so yeah.
I went to North Clay. So you got to think, but when I went to North Clay, I never lived in the area. So when I was in the 5th grade, we moved with my aunt in a duplex in Castlegate.
Man, I think that's an interesting thing too, because I know a lot of people's stories where a lot of cats don't really end up like going to school in the area that they live in, especially sports kids.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, the area that you in
don't have
good sports, or the school just not thriving academically, or you get put in a situation where you probably gonna end up getting in trouble.
Yeah. And see, that was my thing. It was more trouble, because I supposed to went to Southside or either Grady. My first beginning years, and then I supposed to went to couple other schools that I ain't gonna really mention, tell people the areas. But if I would have went to Grady or Southside playing baseball, I played all sports. I probably wouldn't have been able to thrive like I was thriving because they didn't have no programs. And I probably would have been the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
But then when it was time for us to pick a school, my mama didn't pick a school based off sports. She picked a school based off of, I think I'm going to move in this area.
In the area.
And this ain't that bad. But shit, my first day walking into Matt now, they were having a hood battle. Like a real one. Throwing chairs. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm telling her like, I'm just looking like shit. I might be at home.
Man, that wasn't sweet.
Man, that wasn't sweet, but we thought it was. See, my mom was going to send me to Southwest, and I, young, dumb, and stupid, I was hearing about AIDS and gay folks. And I'm like, man, I don't want to go to that shit.
Yeah.
But it worked out for the better for me because I end up, in 98, I ended up catching about 15 charges, fighting with the police and shit, and end up having to go to Scared Straight, and then I end up getting a parole and a casework. I had two on Georgia appointed. They moved the case from Cobb County to DeKalb County, and the judge and the DA was like, you know, they were going through this, what do he do? Sports just wasn't gonna get it for me.
Right.
So my caseworker was like, you need you in the band in the 8th grade? I was like, yeah. She said, you need to stay in it. That's the only thing gonna keep you off of parole for 3 years. And I'm like, damn.
My mama said, man.
Well, she chorus of the band. It was something that didn't make me look hard.
Gotcha.
Something that didn't make me look like the charges that I had. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Because I guess they assess sports as being aggressive.
Sports is very aggressive. The baddest of the baddest, the worst of the worst, the dumbest of the dumbest can play sports.
So they say.
And like, you know.
I don't know,
we can't talk about my boy Floyd, but you know they say my boy Floyd illiterate. So that's kind of a balance in between what it is. I don't know his mental status, but you don't have to be that smart to play a sport. Now baseball is most sports 90% mental, 10% physical. That's what I used to teach my kids when I was coaching.
I mean, all of them are, honestly. Yeah. I mean, the day of the done jock is over with.
Yeah. That's dead.
You really have to thrive in the classroom these days. Like I said, I know coming out too for me, I mean, my thing was to qualify firsthand. So as soon as I qualified on the SAT, I ain't taking no more. You know what I'm saying? 820, done. First time. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was like, and then I went to school for mechanical engineering. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm first gen in college. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I actually remember sitting down, like going through picking. That was the reason I chose to go to Northeastern. And Northeastern is in Boston, Massachusetts. I chose to go up there because that was the only school that was going to allow me to do engineering and play football. Yeah. So like I was right on that transition where coaches was like, where you want to go? What do you want to do? You can go to school. And I was like, well, I want to do architecture. I know I like working on cars. You know what I'm saying? On the East, that's what you know how it is. It's cars. Yeah. So you know, my first car was an '84 Cutlass. Tore it down, broke it down, 412s, all that. That's me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? While I was in high school, so I knew that was something I wanted to tap into. I just didn't know what. So I remember sitting there with my mom and my dad looking at, you know, the majors and going through, and I was leaning toward architecture, but then, you know, we had another conversation, and thank God, because architecture ended up because it's becoming real obsolete. Yeah. In a sense. But you know, choosing that path, but I never forget going to a college coach sitting in there with him, and he looked me in my face. This was after my folks walked out. You know, they take you and separate you for a minute, and he said, look at me. He was like, I'm gonna say something to you, but pay attention to my hand. And he was like, school first, football second.
Ooh, strong.
So I knew what time it was. Then like, oh, this shit business.
Yeah,
strictly business. It's strictly business. Like, so and that's why I'm so passionate about it now, because it's like, them coaches ain't there to look out for us.
No, they don't want your
best interest. They come into our hoods, they recruit us.
You're a number.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I honestly, I felt that when COVID first hit too, because I'm like, damn, they finna send these boys out here to play. Yeah. Knowing this situation, knowing what's going on, and they taking it. And then even when shit started to hit the fan with the police brutality and stuff. Yeah. How you going into the hood recruiting our players? You come in, you tell our parents you're going to take care of us, you're going to do certain things, and then when shit start happening to us in our communities, y'all don't stand up and say nothing.
Nothing. They not gonna stand up and say
And
nothing.
not only that, like y'all getting paid millions.
You
Y'all
see-
college coaches get paid more
Millions.
than
Than some NFL.
No, than all NFL coaches.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I'm
that's the
saying?
biggest thing that I try to put out on my platform. For those that follow me on my Instagram page, Rich Homie Monte, I try to preach that to the people because, like you say, through your recruitment process, I've been through it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that because I know I try not to be heavy on my past and this who I am. I try to allow people to fuck with me for who I am, who they see, not what they think, because that's what's wrong with a lot of our young boys. If you walk around with all the jewelry on and you pull up in the nicest car you got and they tend to want to attach to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of be wanting them to attach more so to my story, like where I come from, my background. Because when I went through my recruitment process, like my 12th grade year, man, this ain't no bullshit. And my mama gonna actually be one of my next guests on my show. My mama was like, "What you gonna do?" And I was like, "I don't know." I went through my whole high school career like just all I wanted to do was hustle. And I wanted to be a better hustler than some of my family members. Like, I was looking at that part. So, shit, in like 9th, 10th grade, I was stealing cars. I was breaking in cars. I was doing dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mama used to always tell me, you ain't really got to work, but I never seen her. So that's what drew me to the streets. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats be like, I'm a street nigga, this and that. You be forced to be in it. Like me, I wasn't that kid that was forced to be in the streets. I wanted to be in the streets because everybody in my family, I'm the cleanest one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm in the streets,
That's probably 60% on right now. They ain't really forced into being it.
Nah, I'm gonna go a step above and be like 90, because when you look at poverty when we was growing up, like we really did have the projects like $12 to live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we really came up in that area to where we had the real Atlanta. Like I just had that conversation with a little dude last night, and he from Atlanta, but he was born in '96. You know what I'm saying? And he don't know Atlanta. So I'm telling him, like, bro, I grew up in Techwood Homes. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I was born and raised I ain't gonna say raised. I was born in John Brown North. My mom stayed in Carver Home. Like, we lived in all the projects. They don't know about Atlanta Housing Authority for real.
Right.
So they might know something about, you know what I'm saying, on Four Seasons, which they made that into the projects. That's still, you got people still living on that, paying $800 a month to live. Like, everybody that was around us paid $10, $11, $12, $2, $3 to live. So you talking about the lowest of the low.
Right.
When you want to talk about it now. And the only thing that we had, because Hank Aaron came in to the projects when I was growing up, and he created the Hank Aaron Ricker League. It was a part of his nonprofit.
Right.
All us played for free. That was my way out. That's all I ever wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never want to do nothing but play sports and sell me some shit. You know what I'm saying? But as we get older and we start being able to tap into what it was, when it came time for me to go through recruiting and I was doing this because I love it, not because I wanted to play professional.
Right.
Because I ain't never see that for myself.
Yeah, I mean, shit, for me, it wasn't even that. It was, hell, either you gon'
play this or
you gonna go get a job.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying. Like, a job for me was never a job. It was like,
it was projected too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at, like, I got it's like my sister cousin. You know what I'm saying? She down in Alabama State right now, and you know, I started having her trail me last year. Through shows, showing her different stuff like that, and you know, it was projected on majority of us in our age group because our parents was losing jobs to young white, educated. You know what I'm saying? College graduate, young men and women, right? But in retrospect, they came and they told us like, "Oh, you need to go to college.
Yeah,
you need to go get a degree." All right, then when all of us started going getting them, then it was like, "Oh, you don't got the experience." Well, goddamn, ain't
what
that
the hell am I supposed to do with
this?
Yeah,
what I'm supposed to do with this?
Yeah,
my folks lost their jobs to young white and young white girls and boys who didn't have the experience because they got a college degree. Now that we get the paperwork, now it's like, oh, now you need the experience. Yeah. So how the hell I'm gonna get the experience? I just spent the past 4 years in school learning and doing all this kind of stuff, creating and getting this debt, you know what I'm saying, that a lot of us end up getting into. I'm blessed to say, I end up getting a full scholarship.
Yeah.
But I mean, shit, it's deep, bro. It's deep.
So how you feel about, and I know it's a sensitive topic for people. I've been told that I was inferior behind it, and not inferior, nothing that mankind created. But like you just say, for young African Americans, for us to reach, it's being taught that for us to reach this particular level at a certain point, you have to go put yourself in $200 and some thousand worth of debt.
I don't believe in it.
I don't believe in it.
I don't believe
and do
in
you what weight do a degree hold? Now that you out here and you able to live in society, and we not gonna preach that you shouldn't go get some type of, we're not gonna do that. But see, me, I was being taught on the other end, trades and what your hands and what your mind will allow you to do. So I have my certificates and all of my stuff in trades. I'm a CDL driver. I'm a paramedic 1. I'm a licensed. I'm an ASC certified mechanic. You know what I'm saying? So some of the stuff that I hold with me, I can make way more money than somebody that's indebted $500,000 going to school.
Man.
And I actually went and took up my trades in high school my last year.
Yeah.
So I did that. Then I went to a technical school for a couple months, and I was like, man, this ain't me. I got out, got my certificate. I didn't even have to go to school to get none of my certifications.
Man.
And I'm certified in them areas, and this one hold this amount a year, this one hold that amount a year, and this one hold this amount a year. And some of it don't amount to, well, shit, let me go be an engineer. It's say 100,000. And that's a story that I tell people. Like, I was finna go in the police academy because I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do, and I hated polices. I hated them. So I always grew up like, if you don't like them, join them. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just being honest on some cricket shit. I'm like, man, these niggas be running across all this money. I'm gonna just go free my people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna free my people, like, and be that real force. And then I got a job at Prologix, and I started making about $7,000 a month. And I was like, and I was young. I was like 20 years old. I'm like, damn, you can make that much money just doing regular shit. Then when I got finished with that, I went and got my CDL. Then I tapped into a bag. I was like, I got my CDL. Then see, in the process before that, I went and I did all the stuff with being a fireman. I only got to a fireman 1, but in order to do it, you got to be a fireman 2 in the city of Atlanta. They lost all my paperwork. That's when I learned the system was fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, I got to the end. I'm sitting at home. That's all I ever wanted to do, be a fireman. That was a dream. Got to the end of it, I get a phone call. Well, you got to come back and go through the whole process. I'm damn near at the site. You know, I got to take the polygraph now. That's all I got left. They lose my paperwork. So I'm like, damn, what am I going to do now? You know what I'm saying? And shit, I went and started driving. I drove at United for 8 years, and the rest history. Music hit me 8 years after that.
Yeah.
And from that point on, I've been entrepreneur. I was forced into entrepreneurship. I can't talk about the other side because I've been doing that half of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of us feel like, and I say it, you know what I'm saying, because we don't keep it pure. Drugs, alcohol, and street shit is not the only way to make money. And that's what I be trying to preach to my boys when I was coaching. A lot of people know I coached at Matt now for 7 years. I coached at Langston Hughes for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I always used to do, like, because I could relate to these boys. Like, when I got to Langston Hughes, it was a different dynamic than it was at Matt. Now, I seen the worst of the worst, the best of the best. You get what I'm saying? Like,
hell yeah.
I had them kids that came through that was the best of the best, but from the worst situations.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then when I got over to Langston, I had best situations, no real talent, but I had Mike come out of there.
Yeah.
We got a couple kids come up out of there now. My little cuz Keon, he went to Marshall and played football, not baseball, but I was one of the first people to be able to tell him, like, man, just buckle down and do what you put your mind to it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because he came from that background. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's something that our people really need to hear. Let's go a step further into this, because I think the mental aspect of it, and me and you, we both deal with this in the industry because we both work in the entertainment at this point. For people that don't know, what do you think? What you think the clutch is with our African American people when it comes to you in comedy, I'm in music, but they both kind of coincide, and you dealing with human beings? Because I feel like, and I'm going to give you my part first, I feel like once they make it to a certain level, they forget that they human, and they start to feel immortal, and the feelings and all of the above, our people become puppets to the game. What's your feelings on that?
I think it is part of, like, looking at the situations of where people start. Like you say, we all come from them situations where some of these cats don't even know. They ain't even think how to breathe. They ain't even think that they would be in the position that they in, right?
Yeah.
So when certain people get around and they starting to hit a point and starting to see the traction go, and you start to see, like you say, our white counterparts come in and tell them, oh, it should be done this way, or certain things should be going on. It's like, shit, we all growing and doing this together, but in a mental capacity of, well, who to trust. And that happened on the sports side too.
But why do we feel like we gotta trust in the Caucasian? And I don't have nothing against white
I ain't gonna,
people.
but you know what, bro? Like I said, it date back, man. I remember even going back to the cars. Nigga used to say, "Oh, go buy a car from a white
man. It's gonna be cleaner." Yeah, it's gonna be cleaner.
White man clean. I just remember hearing that shit. Like I said, I don't want to make this no type of racist thing, but you know.
But I do want to go there. Like, I want to go there. I want to go into why do you feel that the white man word is better than the black? Is it geographically the backgrounds that we come from?
I mean,
is it the fact that we feel like white people are better structured than black people because that's what we put off?
I mean, but what make people think that white is pure?
What it's not though?
Because white can get dirty as fuck, right?
White get dirty as hell.
Okay, and black can be clean and all that, right?
Exactly.
I mean, you know,
what do you think the mentality is?
I think the mentality is passed down, bro. Like I remember being told from older, hey man, go, you know, you in the car, man, you know, go to
Chattanooga and get that from the white boy. I was told the same thing.
You know, go to do this. No, don't buy it from nobody around the way because he gonna try to trick you.
So what's the truth behind that? The truth behind now, I'm gonna tell you what my truth is behind that. The truth behind that is that we don't appreciate a lot. So let's just go into the cars. Let's go into the cars. 96 Impala SS.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to buy a 96 Impala SS, you had to understand the value of that particular car.
Right.
A lot of us don't. It's a select few of us that do.
Right.
10 and 5 of us that understand what I have here. So put it like this. You go rent a car, right?
Mm-hmm.
They was renting 96 Impala SS's in Atlanta, and they was renting them out in Chattanooga, Tennessee, let's just say.
Mm-hmm.
Chattanooga, Tennessee, it's a handful of us. They get them. They going to get them and cruise in them. We go rent a car. What the first thing we going to do? We going to dog that bitch out because we going to push it to its limit.
So they say.
And not understand what its value. I used to get in rental cars and dog them bitches.
Yeah,
so if you ever rented anything behind Monte, that motherfucker, that bitch was tore up. You feel me?
I know. Come on,
that bitch had 10,000 miles on it, but it had 100 in essence.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And you done
no, then man, tie ball on them motherfucker, everything happened in about a week.
Yeah.
You feel me? We're gonna push things to the limit. It takes us a little bit longer to understand value. Because value not taught. It's not taught, bro.
No, man.
It ain't taught. It
must just be embedded in me because anything that's been, you know what they say, like if somebody give you something, you don't appreciate it as much as you. If
oh my God! And if you had to earn it,
I don't know, like stuff that's been given to me, I done took care of that shit like it was.
See, I'm the same way.
Prized possession.
I'm the same way, but a lot of these kids, I'm going through that with my child right now, with my own seed, because she has been given everything. She doesn't appreciate nothing.
So how do we embed that in that process? Because I mean,
in that process, because you always was taught, you ain't got no kids right now, but when you do have your kid, we always feel like we want to make a better life for our children than us, 100%. Right? But that's a gift and a curse.
Absolutely.
And it's a clutch because let's go a step further. My 18-year-old nephew has come up under me being an adult.
Yeah.
So he's the same way. He like cars, don't know nothing about them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that my fault. You know what I'm saying? Because 8 years of his life, I was gone. Living my, working. It's not even necessarily living my dream. A part of my dream just so happened to be work. And a lot of people didn't understand that it was work, like hardcore work for me. It wasn't no real fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the 30 seconds that they could see on Instagram and all that, it looked fun. For me, it was arguments, fights, rehearsals, 12-hour studio sessions.
Come on.
Dealing with somebody else's attitude all the time, traveling the world, running for flights, missing flights, arguing with stewardess, arguing with this person, sitting on my phone for 20 hours out of a day. Did you hear me, bro? 20 hours out of a day.
I know now.
Sitting in my living room downstairs. I put a dent in my sectional in about 4 days because I couldn't move.
Come on, man.
One day I got up.
Literally servicing.
Servicing, bro. Musty as hell. Like, I'm sitting there, what the hell is that? And smell myself. I'm like, damn, I ain't never been musty. But when I looked at that phone, I had did 10 contracts in one day. like full contracts. That's 10 different people that I had to go through this whole spiel, and every customer is different. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you know the game, so you want to tell me this. You want to argue. He want this. He want to tell me he an artist, so he know how it go, but ain't nobody never heard of you. You ain't never been booked for a show. So the thing, as it just continue to go, we lose sight of what's in front of us. I lost sight of the fact that my nephew might like cars, and he might want to be like me. So in the process of giving him, at 16, he got his first car. Boom. When it was time to put a system in it, hey, bro, me and you going to do this together. So what he done adapted in his mind is, because he's able to pick up these books and look on YouTube, oh, I know how to do that.
I don't know what YouTube University has birthed a lot of
Yeah, but it didn't birth that one. Because I give him because he been handed everything. I give him a tie wrap and tell him to tie wrap a wire up under the thing. He was up under that motherfucker, no lie, bro, for like 30 minutes. And I just let him go through it. And it's the same thing with my daughter. It's like,
I got a nephew in the house right now. Just graduated from Creekside. I mean, love cars, but
don't know
want to drive them and ain't gonna drive it to the max. But listen,
he can't check the oil,
boy.
And so who do we account that for? So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. What I'm saying with being given a lot of stuff and not appreciating.
I mean, like, it's crazy because, like I said, I had to. My little cousin, I passed her down a 97 Honda.
Yeah.
Do everything right in school. She had to catch a hand-me-down.
Yeah.
My nephew caught a 2017 Maxima.
Yeah.
Done ran the car to the ground.
Already.
So
that's the point. Like, he didn't appreciate it.
And I told him, like, so now he back carless, guess what?
And he calling you.
Nah, he at the house when I get what? The other day, he think he finna go. You think you finna hop in that truck? You think you finna hop in it? Boy, you finna hop in that 97 Honda Accord. That's part that.
Yeah.
Oh, you can get there.
Yeah.
Trust me. And if it break down, get somebody a call.
But see, get what? The lesson on that is, for all my young brothers that paying attention and mothers, he shouldn't have been able to hop in that 97. You know what he should have had to do?
What that?
Go get you a model card, Playboy.
Oh, nah, man.
Yeah. Go get you a model card, dog.
That was us. That was us. Like, I remember, bro. I remember working at Wolf Cameron Video. My mama worked at Wolf Cameron. She was the manager there. You feel me? And I remember, okay, you oversleep. I stayed right by the motor station. Boy, you finna have to. I used to be proud though
to get on the bus.
Boy, I had them khakis on with them Rees. And my little button-up shirt, I used to be proud. Like,
get on that bus.
It's different now.
Yeah,
bro. It's just different, and I can't hate on the situation.
But it's only different because of what's created. Because MARTA is still there.
It's still there, but they also got Uber, my boy. Like,
yeah, but Uber
my boy catch an Uber. My nephew catch an Uber from Decatur to Union City.
Yeah,
you feel me? Like it ain't no.
That the bougie way. That's why I say they don't appreciate it, because they get to go where they got to go in the car seat at 5 years old. God rest my grandma. Can you knock them
for not knowing it?
No, but that's what I'm saying, bro. It got to be taught. Because God rest my grandma. I just lost my grandma, right? Real sensitive. At 5 years old, because all my auntie, my mom, everybody project. Everybody stayed in different projects. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My grandma was so goddamn mean, but she was so thorough to where she was like, I ain't holding your goddamn hand. And my mama the black sheep of the family, we're going to talk about that type of stuff too. So certain things are handed down. My mama the only sister that know how to drive and do all that. So my mama was working. She became that kid that she didn't have nothing to appreciate. You see what I'm saying? When she was growing up, she felt like she was below everything. So at 13, 14, she started working. She adapted work. So now she working 70, 80 hours a week. She leaving me with my auntie, my grandma, my little. My grandma put us on the bus. Like, I don't know. My grandma never knew how to drive. My other two aunts, they don't know how to drive to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like, my grandma died never knowing how to drive a car. You know what I'm saying? So it was, hey, you and your sister, we like 5. I'm 6 years old. I'm like 6 years old. Put us on that bus. Hey, you do this, and this, and it's going to put you right here at your auntie house.
Mm-hmm.
So I respected that. When I got a car, when I was able to say I ain't got to get on that motor. See, listen, my whole middle school to high school, I rode the bus, my G.
Yeah.
Mom Dukes only dropped us off every now and then because Mom would focus on that bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, bro, I went to North Clay Middle School. The bus don't run in Clay County. I used to have to ride to 89 Schofield, get off on Gabby Road. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And walk from now listen to this. With my little sister, walk from Guyby Road to North Clay up on West Fayetteville.
You know what this sound like? It sound like one of them old school players. Like, man, you know when I was in goddamn elementary school, man, I had to walk 3 miles through the snow.
Bro, 3 miles, bro. You feel me?
Like I said, I understand. I mean, my situation was different. Like, I grew up with my mom and my stepdad. My stepdad raised me since I was 2. That's my dad. You know
Yeah, see, I was going to ask you about that. We want to talk about two parents in the household.
And even like 34-year-old Cord knows that man was put in my mama life for me. He wasn't put in my life to treat my mama right.
Right.
He did what was best for Cord. You know what I'm saying? Like, my NFL career, you know what I'm saying, I give all cahoots to my folks because they put themselves in every position to make sure I win. You know what I'm saying? He was at every game.
Yeah.
Couldn't throw a football from here to that wall, but he was gonna put me in position to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mama worked during the day, my dad worked at night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was the reason I was able to go to school out of district. Why? Because when Pops came home, boom, I knew what time it was. Get my clothes, get my stuff. He taking me to school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Boom. Who picking me up from practice? Mom. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It was clockwork.
Yeah.
But my mama was a basketball player. You know, sports. My dad was a New York cat, but he played basketball.
Yeah.
So my luxuries of it was different. But when I got a chance, like, it wasn't past. I earned this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, grades. I had to earn, you know what I'm saying, certain things that I got, you know, but I knew if I didn't do what I was supposed to do, I wasn't going to reap the benefits of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was my thing. And then I didn't have to work, but Mom Dukes allowed me to get a job because I wanted to work. That's how it was for us. It was like, I want to have my own car. Okay, cool, I'm going to go. I worked that whole I worked a year to buy that car. I told my mom I'm going to buy the car. I never give it $2,800. My mama wanted to
buy it for you.
Wanted to buy it for me. I was like, no.
Yeah.
She was like, well, you got to let me do something. She was like, okay, I'll pay the insurance on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm appreciative of it because, like I said, I worked for that car, and then when it came down to it, that car was stolen by 4 times, bro. That car got stolen from me 4 times, and it broke my heart every time. But like you say, when you working, when you understand your earning power behind something, you put your all into it. I understood the value in it, and I ain't never been that person to undervalue something because it's been given to me. Like, oh, I'm pair of shoes, I'm finna take care of a car, I'm finna take care of whatever it is, I'm gonna take care of because I feel like when you take care of stuff, it take care of you.
Yeah, but that's what
I think even relationships.
I was just finna ask you about the relationship, like value in a person in a relationship. Like, I know me and you done personally had these conversations before, and I just feel like even when it comes to that part of life, like our women, most of our women don't value our men because the status quo is he gotta be doing this, and this for me to even listen to you or whatever, and it's not appreciated. You see what I'm saying? So when you meet certain,
the black woman is
it's a terrible thing right now.
It's underappreciated times 100. Towards
you think the black woman, you think black men don't appreciate the black woman, or you think society don't appreciate the black woman? So the value of a black woman, I appreciate black women to the utmost, especially because all of them in my family fucking black women, and they powerful black women. You know what I'm saying? But I think women sometimes, like, I have to go there. I think women sometimes
that mom calling right now, we done spoke up.
Yeah. I think women sometimes take and don't understand what the value is because I feel like value is bigger than ass and titties.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So nowadays, you know, we living in a time, in an era now where women entrepreneurship is being pushed, and I love that.
Hell yeah.
But what's coming behind it, like fucked up attitudes, and you know, when you get here, like, what do you do to continue to keep that value? So when you get into relationships with men and women, like I talked about this shit here before, it's like women starting to devalue us. So it's like it's a spade for a spade, and it's continue to bump heads. And if we all could get it together, then culturally in society, we wouldn't have no issues with trying to fight the other forces. You know what I'm saying? Because black women are some powerful people. They smart as hell. You know what I'm saying?
But I can't say that I've experienced like a situation of feeling devalued. I think a big part of it, shit for me is just being communication. You feel me?
That's the biggest problem in our culture as a whole.
Absolutely. I mean,
we don't.
Me and you
know
talked. I mean, shit. I had to go and do some deep diving on myself to understand my.
I'm in counseling right now.
I'm in therapy. Shit, as a black man, you
right
know what I'm saying? Right now, to this day, you feel me? And I had to definitely go. And me and you talked about this. We talk about this all the time. I mean, you have to go dig within yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And really walk down that road and understand what built some of your
bullshit.
Yeah, and some of your views and some of your aspects on a lot of things. And I mean, I done had to walk down that road and go back and see and really pinpoint certain things. You know, like, damn, okay, I developed this view on this because of an experience from my childhood or from not talking with my mom about certain stuff. Because in my household, I ain't really talk about shit.
Yeah,
you know, I learned about
the
sex.
Shut up? Was it the shut up? Was it the
shut up? It wasn't shut up. I never felt that openness to really talk. You know what I'm saying? Because I always kind of felt like my mama looked, you know, what you doing, you know, or don't do that, or you know, or whatever the case may be. That openness, I kind of felt judged.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, in a sense, and it almost created this like perfectionist mentality, like an image that I had to hold, like of being perfect, and when I fuck up, it's like I felt
bad. Like, you couldn't stand up there no more. It's like, bro, damn, I don't want to be seen. It's like that turtle effect. You gonna slide in.
Yeah, so I had to go back and look through that stuff, and then, you know, part of it, like watching my mom. My mom, you know what I'm saying, is a huge people pleaser.
Yeah,
and that shit it passed over to me, and I had to learn, you know, quick on that one. Like, well, this ain't gonna work.
I'm still fighting that now, man. What you saying, be a people pleaser, and it's one of the things we definitely said we was gonna talk about therapy to the people, because me, even at my age now, a lot of people be asking me how old I am. This nigga called me Unc.
This Unc, nah.
But it's one of them things, man, to where I've been going through therapy since 2000. 2000, I lost my uncle. One of the most tragic things that ever happened to me in my life. Minus the being shot, being stabbed. That was the most traumatic thing that ever happened to me. And I was always taught, like you say, just be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I would try to express myself to my mama at times, she would always tell me I'm lying. You lying. So what we have to understand as parents is open line of communication is something that's not taught in the black community, because we make each other feel stupid or dumb just to put it out there about certain things. No question is too big. No answer is too small.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? And I like to do this right here. I like to tell people this. And me and Quan about 3-4 years ago had got into something, and I went to him, and he said that was petty. He told me that I was being petty. But what I like to tell people all the time, in conversation and in life, nothing is too petty to be addressed. Nothing. Because if something bothers you, that's the first streamline of communication. You know what I'm saying? Communicate your issues. We will have billions more of our young black men here today, and our women that's been killed by men and other women, if we knew how to communicate. Our race wouldn't be underpopulated by 82% if we wasn't killing each other so strong, killing each other off so strong. We kill each other off a lot because of communication. Hey, Court called you a bitch ass nigga. Oh, I'm gonna fire that stupid ass nigga up. Instead of going to him and say, hey, bro, first off, when you called me a bitch, yeah, I called you a bitch. Well, what I do to feel like that? Well, bro, you know what? You took XYZ from me, and that's how I feel. You could say, well, bro, this why I did it.
Yeah.
It's validated. It's warranted at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because
a big part of that too is, I mean, shit, in communication is not only what's being said, is shit,
what's being done.
Listening to understand.
Yeah.
A lot of folks really
listen to respond.
It's a lot of listen to respond versus listen to understand. And I think that's the biggest thing is even in altercation, whatever the case may be, just letting folks know. Like I said, that's one of the most difficult things for me right now, bro, is when you going through the mindset and the thought process of going, you know, therapy. Hey, man, you know, I'm just trying to communicate, and the other person going crazy, and you like, hey, man, hold on.
Chill out, bro.
Yeah, like, bro, don't do that.
Or, hey, chill out, bro.
Or, hey, you don't know where I done came from to get to this point, but also too, it just reminds me often of my time to check myself.
Yeah.
I'm going through the process. This is the process I'm working through. They ain't did the work yet. So I gotta be a little patient and understanding that. But also too, when I do feel that, when it's time for me to remove myself so I can, you know what I'm saying, so I can do what I need to do for me to be straight. Because at a certain point too, we know them triggers, and when them triggers come up, they can set you off and do certain stuff. But a key thing of what you said too is shit, understanding that shit, ain't nobody, it's nothing that a man can say to me right now that's gonna provoke me or get me to do anything, bro. Oh, I'm a bitch. You right, bro. You have a good day. Cause
I'm provoked, bro.
Yeah,
I think I'm still going through my process because, and it's a part of the therapy that we trying to understand now. Like, just Monday, I sat down and he said, "What's the biggest issue?" I said, "The biggest issue is I take everything personal."
Okay.
And he say, "Well, you have to understand boundaries and limits, and you have to set them." Well, all of my boundaries and limits are already set, right?
Mm-hmm.
They set on a more major scale than they are person to person. So when you get to calling me adjectives, like, I'm like, oh, all right, like, hey, look, chill. And I got a 3-strike rule. Like, you can call me a bitch 2 times, but strike 3,
the third gonna probably get you socked out.
You out. You gonna get your shit splackered, or I'm gonna call you every type of night. And that's the same thing with our black women, with appreciating the man. We are already devalued in the world. They devalue us so much more verbally than we call niggas every day. We gotta go be called bitch ass niggas and fuck niggas by our own black women when they don't get what they want.
I don't catch that.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't catch that. I don't catch that. It might be the pool. It might be the pond they fishing in, but I don't, like I said. And then too, I think it's the strength that I hold. And I know you know what I'm saying, you carry yourself a certain way, and I carry myself a certain way too. But like you say, the pond that you get your fish out of, a lot of times of that, like, I've tried every spectrum. I've been disrespected by damn near every woman because of who I am. This what it come down to. That shield that you have is, oh, you think you this, and oh, you think, no, I don't. So in order to bother you, a person got to dig deep into you, like, damn, what can I do to irritate this motherfucker's soul? So the disrespect. See, a part of me, I believe in I use the Eminem approach.
Yeah.
Shit, if I tell you all my flaws already, it ain't really much you could come back and say to me that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Or that can't be said because I done took it down already. It's like, what you gonna say? Something I know already?
That's the Eminem. Yeah, that's definitely like Eminem, the 8 Mile approach.
The 8 Mile approach.
Why do you think people do that though? Why do you think people try to use your worst against you? Like, because it makes something within themselves?
Because it makes them feel better. But I mean, often too, I mean, like you say, the conversation, majority of the time when people project certain things about you, I just turn around and ask, well, what make you feel that way about me? That's what it really boils down to.
That's how you really feel.
When you projecting something, it's like, well, what makes you think that way about me, or what I say, or how I do or carry myself? Or I ask my friends, like, I got a trusted group of women that I can go and say, oh, well, how do I come off when I say this, or when I'm in a situation, like, how do I, oh, you come off this way. Okay, cool. All right, then I can go ask. Now, if I go and ask 5 people and 5 people say the same thing, then 9 times out of 10, that's me.
That's you.
But then if I come through and it's 3 out of the 5, that's still probably a good chance because the probability is better. But I mean, all in all, it's definitely, I see when things are projected, it's like, well, where do
it come from?
Yeah, where's the root of this? Like, where does this shit start from?
Yeah, people tell me I be tripping, and that shit used to, well, nah, I ain't gonna say used to, irritate my soul because I think I'm one of the coolest motherfuckers ever. And I'm the nigga that's gonna come sit back and just chill. And then it's, oh, I had an argument today, matter of fact. Oh, you doing the most. Fuck you mean? I ain't even did nothing. But I think that, once again, I gotta go here with our people. We some of the most jealous motherfuckers created.
I don't know.
Bro, we got a lot of jealousy. And see, you carry a y'all circle, and there's one more circle that I have watched in this city. It just, when you be around it, and I just started being around some energy like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm in this little social group now to where is when I go in there, I can walk in there like this. I can walk in there motherfucker staggering. I can go in there happy. I can go in there with my jewelry on.
Yeah.
I can go in there however I go, and ain't nobody gonna maliciously try to tear me down.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get into malicious activity with us, it comes from a place. It comes from jealousy, envy. And we don't like to believe that, but so much of it be, man, let me figure out a way I can knock Cord off his rock, man. That nigga just too confident in himself. And that's what I, like you say, I got about 5 people I can call and be like, hey, Cord said, such and such. Why you think he said that? Bro, I don't know. I done been told this a bunch of times. Niggas done told me this. Brothers, let me not try to speak that. Brothers done told me this shit, bro. Hey, bro, motherfucker came and told me you just too confident.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you mean? Bro, I've also been told it was a problem that I could hold my phone and talk and put it on Instagram. Man, what the fuck? So it just, I try to teach the people every day, be you. Be yourself. Be comfortable in the skin that you in.
Majority of people don't know who they are.
Yeah, what I just said. Be comfortable and be yourself.
So in that, I mean, in this quest of life, you got people 50, 60, 70 years old.
Still don't know who they are.
You know what I'm saying? Where they came from.
So what can we do within this time that we've been talking? Because we're going to reach a lot of people. What can we do to help people with their confidence? See, me personally, I can give you mine first. I grew up my whole life with a long head, right? I did not know what the hell they used to be talking about when they called me long head. I used to be in the mirror, like, measuring my shit. Like, I'm not lying. I used to be like, what the fuck is they talking about? My head little as hell. Then people come back and call me P-head.
Yeah.
Like, damn. One day, I took a picture. And I looked at it. My mama said, look at your grandma. And I said, grandma got a long face. And my mama got a pretty long. I said, so the whole time they been talking about my face? This ain't my damn head. So I grew up being called E.T., ugly ass nigga, my whole life. And I used to be like, damn. And then one day I woke up and I said, you know what? You don't go to jail for being ugly. You feel me? You don't get no accolade for being ugly. I'm an ugly motherfucker then. Fuck it.
Yeah. You feel like you just sat in it.
I had to sit in it. If you gonna call it, if that's what you see me as, that's what you gonna see me as, right? But I didn't bury myself in it. That's the key to it. I sat there and allowed it. Eminem. Here it is. I took it in. And then I say, you know what, man? In order for me to take this off of me, because if I walk into the room thinking I'm ugly, he gonna think I'm ugly. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Confidence sometimes is for men, confidence is the makeup that we can't wear. You see what I'm saying? So in order to be confident in myself, I had to be like, you know what? Hey, it is what it is. And then I started watching the transition. You know what I'm saying? When you put that behind a little bit of ego, it can be a little bit bad. You know what I'm saying?
Being honest, a lot of men think confidence is by the bag though.
Oh hell no! A lot of men get their confidence from the bag.
Okay, clear it up then.
Yeah,
I'm just. This was the discussion. Shit, we were talking about. Cause my homegirl and then they were talking about big dick energy, and they was breaking the shit down and into what it was, and I was just like, oh, and one of the girls was like, oh yeah, it could just be how he carry himself coming in. But I was like, well, shit, some of them get it from the money. Like, I feel like I'm going to be me broke up, whatever the case may be.
I just said that on Instagram yesterday.
You know what I'm saying? And at my lowest, like, shit, 2012, nigga, that was my roughest year.
Yeah.
2012, I let it all go, bro. Like, this was my 2012. So 2009, I went into the league, started playing for the Rams. Everything was going good. 2010, come back, I get cut, go play for the Seahawks. Still was straight then. 2011, go again, situation. I finished out the rest of the season with the Vikings and play the next season with them, get hurt. Then come 2012, I go down to New Orleans. Meet a girl, but that was my roughest time financially. So this was the first time I was just openly transparent, like, yo, I'm struggling right now. This the case. You know, I'm trying to make this team, da. And when I put that shit out there, I felt vulnerable as fuck. Like, damn, Shawty know everything about me, so now I'm just kind of stuck in this position. Like, I can't leave because if I leave, Shawty gonna tell.
She'll tell all your business.
Got no money, and he doing this, he doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I never forget. I told her, and it made me stick. And I was like, damn, I gotta stay in it. And that shit went healthy for me because shit, that was the most, I think, unhealthy relationship I experienced just due to the fact of the verbal abuse that went back and forth, and the mindset I was in. But it broke a lot of shit off of me too at the time too, because that was the first time I was like, okay, this shit ain't that bad. I told him, motherfucker, now my cards is on the table. You want to stick around? It's on you. Now it ain't no, oh, Shawty sticking around because I got this. Or Shawty sticking around because I got this house, this car, this, and that. But I just never forget coming to that low. And I when I moved back home, it's crazy how God worked. 2013, I come back home. Me and Shawty beefing. I'm talking about can't, but arguing. Oh, nigga, you want to go back home? Because I was coming back home because it wasn't nowhere for me to train in New Orleans. It just was the vibe. It was just the Big Easy. They call that motherfucker the Big Easy for a reason. Them folks take their time down there.
Yeah.
You want your cable hooked up? I'll be there in 3 weeks. God, they hook up the cable? Like, they call it the Big Easy, but I came back home. My dad was real sick at the time. And I talked with my mentor. And I was like, man, you know, I ain't really getting out of football what I want. And at this time, I was just trying to put money in it. I'm just trying to figure out ways to make money. He like, man, you ain't keeping the main thing the main thing. I'm like, well, chill, bro. He said, go think about it and come back to me. I thought about this shit for a couple weeks. I came back to him. I was like, man, I
can't figure it out.
I said, I cannot figure this out. He was like, cool. You got to where you are because of football. He said, now you out here trying to invest in this, do this. You trying to goddamn own a clothing company. You trying to do this. He said, them things don't provide for you.
Yeah. Football
provide for you. So why are you not? I said, damn. That day I left, I said, you know what? And I was doing all this shit to maintain a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because of the people around me, to maintain the image.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, you can't let the car go because shit, you let the car go, folks gonna think you broke.
Yeah.
Well, shit, nigga, I am.
Yeah, I am broke.
I am.
Yeah.
Not only am I broke financially, nigga, I'm broke mentally. I'm broke from all aspects of it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I got back home. I went up to the gym. Ernest Ross, man. Shout out to Ernest Ross. Ernest Ross at the gym. He still got the gym. It's called Fit For You over in Tucker. Ernest, I came to Ernest as a man. I said, hey man, I cannot afford to pay you to train. I say, but you know, if you just let me, I clean up the gym. If you need me to train some kids that come in, and that's how I end up tapping into, you know, my passion for helping others. I would go to the gym, come home. My dad was on dialysis. I fix his dialysis stuff, whatever, come back home. So I never forget the repo man come. My BMW was parked at the end of my mama's driveway. My mama come in the room, she say, they out there, they taking your car. They stealing your car. I wake up, bro, so peacefully. I walk out there with the key to the tow truck, man. I say, hey, man, you ain't got to make all that fuss, man. Start this car up and go and leave. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I say, hey, man, just start the car up, just leave. Because there were 2 dudes out there. And when they seen me come out, I seen them kind of get started. I'm like, oh, nah. Hey, man, take the car, man. Just, you know, y'all keeping up a lot of noise right now. I come back in and my mom, she like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, shit, that motherfucker, you know. Well, why you ain't telling me? Because that ain't your responsibility. That was a decision I made. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, I got up the next day. I talked to my dad. I was like, hey man, I'm gonna need your car to go back and forth for the gym. I said, I ain't doing nothing extra. I'm gonna go to the gym, come back. You know, I get your dialysis information straight, whatever. So I did that shit, bro, consistently every day. Every day, that was my routine. But mama got so mad. She was like, here you is, you got this, you went to school for engineering, you finna let this shit fall because of football. Now, this is the same person who spoke life into my football, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The
Now
same person now wanted to take it. And I had to have a talk with her, but I said, you the same person that told me, I never forget, I was at East Atlanta Day riding the 4-wheeler. She was like, you gonna get a call from the league and you ain't been working out. I was like, man, it's over with. It's done. It's time to transition. Bruh. Maybe 15 minutes after the draft was over with, I get a phone call and I got signed. So it's so much power. It's so much power in the tone, bro.
Yeah.
So this was the same
that
person
pink tornado.
Yeah, it was the same person who spoke life into it. Now like
that took it away.
Man, you
but
just
they say your shooter always gonna be your shooter. You get that? The same person shoot for you gonna be the same person shoot you.
Damn. Man,
you see what I'm saying? So
that's deep.
That's how life go.
Yeah.
That's how the cycle of life go.
And it's
you know
crazy
what I'm saying?
because in that situation, I just told her, I said, I'm finna just commit straight to the dream.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck I lose at this point, it wasn't meant, and I'm gonna give this shit my all. But I gave that shit my all. My dad passed. I was at Dimitri's off Covenant Highway. That was the spot he liked to go to. I sat down. I get a call from my auntie. I'm like, I'm headed down to the hospital. He was in hospice at the time. I had him been working out. Some teens had him call me from up in Canada. I'm like, well, shit, I literally got there 30 seconds. I was getting out the elevator. He just passed. I walk in the room, probably about 15 minutes later, my agent called. Hey, the BC Lions in Vancouver, they want to call you. They gonna sign you. 15 minutes after he passed, bro. And I went up there and bawled the fuck out.
Yeah.
All-star the first year.
Was it all the emotions that you had in you? Or?
Nah, it was just the main. I returned to what the main thing was.
So, yeah, that's a lesson for people, too, like, to do what you love to do. Because I've been out here fishing and starting this business and creating this business. And then I had people around me making me feel like everything was about business. And I want to tell people this. Everybody can't be bosses.
Nah.
Being a boss is a mentality. It's not about how much money you have. It's not about who you can control.
And I don't even, bro, I don't even like to use the term boss. I like to use leader. I feel like a boss just tell people what to do. I feel like a leader.
That's what's caught up in our community right now. Like so many people walking away from their $100,000 jobs, $50,000 jobs, $36,000 a year jobs to say just for society because of this phone. And I tell people this. They about to take this Instagram shit away in a minute. It served its purpose. It has served its purpose.
I don't know, man. I just watched a documentary last night on Netflix about was it Social Dilemma?
Yeah.
Boy, that shit they're deep.
It deep, bro.
It's deep. And even, you know what I'm saying?
People losing their life trying to do different stuff.
Being on this side of it where I know, with who I work with, like how much of an influence and impact he got on the culture, on people, right? And on the people. Like, I don't even think he be realizing it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Until, some shit happening, like, damn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I say, yeah, but you got damn much power. Yeah. But it just, Social Dilemma just talks about how addictive it was made to be.
To be, yeah.
And like, how much money been pumped into it and how much, man, that shit, wow.
But that's the point that I make with people, like, even me, like, when I tapped into what I've been doing, baseball was it. I tapped into that 10, 15 years ago. Like, I started back doing that. And then a couple years ago, I was like, man, you have to figure out what your calling is. Like, what's set out for you to do? I'm an athlete. I can play. We battle like this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that has something to do with what my physical attribute can contribute, I can do it. Climb a motherfucking tree, climb a rock, throw rocks.
Whatever it is.
And
goddamn it, we gonna make a challenge out of it.
We gonna make a challenge out of it. And we gonna do this shit to the best of our ability.
What you say, nigga? You can throw that rock? Nigga, I throw that rock all the way to the end of the street, nigga.
Man, I bet a nigga 5,000 how far I can throw a baseball. And somebody out there fucked my money up and was like, don't bet him, please. And I'm like, yeah, bet me, cause I'm finna chunk this motherfucker. I'm going to the hospital when I leave, cause then got a little older. But I'm going to throw that ball. But the biggest part was I had to use my social media platform. And I tell people this all the time. People think I be shooting shots at people when I say it. I built my platform with no help. The only people that helped me was the people that took into who they feel like I am and who they feel like they know. Like, you're able to give people a part of you on their social media. And when I decided to do it years ago, it was like, okay, with who I work with, I'm going to go on here. I'm gonna put the shirt up. I'm gonna put a couple little dollars. I did dumb shit, to be honest. Like, I might put $500 on that motherfucker. Like, 500. You put $500 on your pay right now, they gonna delete your goddamn page. You know what I'm saying? But I just started talking to the people, man, and realizing when I started coaching, coach is a very diverse word.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm good at doing. Like, helping people see things different, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of feel under that time because I never really had the people well. No, shout out Stanley Davenport, my godfather. Like, he showed me a different aspect of life. And it wasn't until this year that my truth came from what I've been speaking. I used to tell people, hey, man, that man used to be trying to show me different ways of getting money and not be in the streets. This year, me and him was talking. Get what he told me.
What's that?
I just wanted you to see that there were different ways to get it. So we ran a shoe company called Shoes on the Run. Well, he ran a shoe company, and I worked with him. Shoes on the Run, we would go to the high schools, and versus y'all having to go out to get your cleats, we pull up in the big turtle top van.
Unload it.
And boom, set up the chairs. Y'all come, you try your stuff on right there. You know what I'm saying? And you go what you go. And what he did outside of that, he paid me very well. But on the weekends, we'll get the Reeboks, and he'll take me barbershop to barbershop, hair salon to hair salon. And then he'll sit in the truck and be like, go in there, see if they want to buy them. I'm tapping into something that I was doing as a kid. I used to panhandle on Cleveland Avenue. Everybody that know me, that's within my age, they seen me at Piggly Wiggly and Cleveland Avenue every day. Piggly Wiggly and Kmart every day. My hand got stuck in the Coke machine when I was in the 7th grade, down there stealing drinks out the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But that's one of the things that I just like to tell my people, man. I know we've been going at it for a minute. I got to get you back in here, man. And tell the people your Instagram, because it's real power. We didn't even get into the money aspect of things because we didn't reach our limit. But you know what I'm saying? Tell the people your Instagram.
Oh, yeah. You can follow me at CPTWO number 9. I need to change that, man.
Yeah, bro. Like, when I look at your shit, I see the little blue check. That's how I be knowing it be you.
Yeah,
but outside of that, I'm like,
I'm gonna change
this nigga name is difficult.
Well, it was CP29. It was my number at the time. I had it, so CPTWO2 number 9. You know, you had to try to be creative with your name. Look, she looking over there trying to figure it out. 29.
This shit doing too much, ain't
it? TWO. That's spelled 2. And then the number 9 behind it, 29.
Yeah, he got way too much going on, man.
Creative at the time, but I think I'm finna switch it to Coach CP or something like that, for real.
Yeah, that'll go.
You know, but y'all, I mean, that's where you can find me at. On Twitter, I ain't too active. I'm trying to start getting more active on it.
I can't get active on Twitter. I think Twitter is too much of outside of who I am as a person. Twitter kind of puts you more in the mindset of you got to be letting people know what you doing all day, like.
I used to think that about social media in general, but boy, if I knew
what I know now,
boy, I would have been a marketing genius by now. Yeah. Just coming off of my time, like I said in the league, I didn't understand what it was. I'm just was so secret, and coming from where we come from, it's like I don't want everybody to know.
In my business, I don't, man. I struggle with that with people right now, like.
Please, it's crazy, and I know we at our time, but it's crazy because the same aspect of it has created so many lanes for people, just for different people, just being open and being out, just letting people know what they got going on because people want to know.
Yeah, people really want to know what you're doing.
They want to know what you're doing, and that's what give you the creativity. I mean, the credibility and the aspect that open more doors for those people around you. So it's been interesting and it's been a fun process, like even the transition.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, I appreciate everybody who checking in today, man. If you get an opportunity to go check out my boy Cord, tap back into me right here on It's Time for Some Pure Shit podcast, Buzzsprouts, Apple Music. I'm on every platform, you know what I'm saying? This shit took off for me real quick with the help of y'all, and I appreciate everybody that's been tapping in, getting these views up, and really just here to listen to a perspective from different people. Everybody that I bring into here, I ain't going for your top artists. I know all of them, but fabricated stories is not something that we want. My motto is pure shit, no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Check out my website, purehustler.com. That's a company that I created. These are some of my shirts.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Purehustler.com. Tapping into my own entrepreneurship because I've built so many entrepreneurs over the last couple of years, just tapping into it for myself. So for everybody that's tapped in, that's been watching, that's been paying attention, I know we've been gone for a minute, but I got to have my boy back in here. So Appreciate y'all all, man.
Appreciate
We'll
you
see
having
y'all
me,
later.
bro.
It's time for some pure shit.
Love.
Pure shit, no bullshit. Out of here.